'Twas the night before Christmas. The streets were dead still. No joy in the air, just familiar chill. No sleigh bells, no carols, no mercy in sight. Just Art the Clown smiling under cold winter light. So hang up your stockings, turn out the lights. Art's back for Christmas on Survive the Night.
The Three Stooges, you see that? The paint bucket fell on Moe's head. No, I don't know.
The Three Stooges?
Home Alone. The pratfalls.
The pratfalls. Right? Oh, okay. Yeah. I get you. I think the Home Alone thing is more appropriate for where we are. Or, there's this one where...
the brick hitting Marv in the head or something? Or...
Brick hitting Marv in the head. The paint buckets are good.
Paint buckets. Okay.
I saw a Juggalo version of that with Juggalos throwing paint buckets at each other. Because why not, I guess.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Those clowns.
Those clowns. Those clowny clowns.
So funny.
They got their own rap festival and everything.
Yeah. Funny, not scary at all. Any of them.
I guess. I don't know. I feel if you're at the gathering and you shouldn't be, it's like just probably a little scary. You're just like, how do I get a ride out of here? But,
yeah. I kind of weirdly don't think you would meet very, actually depraved, scary people at a gathering.
Actual aggro juggalos.
Yeah, aggro. That's the way to put it.
Probably not. Yeah, it's sort of been projected on them. Sort of like metalheads in the 80s, surely they're all serial killers. And it's like, no. It's like, well, are clowns serial killers? And it's like, most of them aren't. A lot of clowns not gonna be a serial killer, but every so often, one comes along, 1 in a million, 10 million, I don't know, that just might be a vessel for evil from beyond the veil. And that's who we're talking about in this week's special Christmas edition. We're recording on Christmas, I promise you that. If you go to the website, visitchristmas.com, it won't say it is, but if we do, it would. You got to take my word on that.
That's right.
That's right. Art is back. He's got his own Christmas song, but I can't tell you much about it. I know I heard it a couple times. But I'm still more of the food's a little funny kind of thing. That's the jam.
The Clown Cafe.
Yeah, the Clown Cafe. You get a little bit of that here too. Muzak version, which I thought was pretty good.
Sure.
But yeah, it's Terrifier 3. It's the third Terrifier, but the fourth movie in the continuity I care about because I like that All Hallows Eve. I think that's important.
They make a callback to it even. With the Ninth Circle book she's reading.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas I was like, I think in the moment, I was like, oh yeah, that Roman Polanski movie, but that's the Ninth Gate. That's totally different.
That's Johnny Depp?
They're alluding. Johnny Depp is in it. Yeah, that's right.
I remember that one. It wasn't that good, but, it is what it is.
Sure. I mean, it is Roman Polanski, so as soon as you say that, someone is like, well, that's just some trash that happened. And you're like, yes, that's right. I don't own a copy of it.
Did he do The Pianist?
Yeah, he did.
That's a pretty good movie.
It is a pretty good movie. And he won Best Director, but that was a horrible thing that happened. Let's keep in mind.
Oh, yeah. Roman Polanski's a weird pedophile rapist. Don't get me wrong.
That's true.
I agree.
But that movie, The Pianist, I mean...
Well,
he was there in the camps. It's hard to deny somebody that experience they had. But whatever, that's not what we're here about. We are talking about art, though, but not art. We're talking about schlocky horror art, which it's
kind of art.
That's it's on a spectrum of art.
It's on a spectrum for sure. Yeah, very true.
So Chris Jericho, man. No, wait. How does this open? I think this opens with the Christmas thing, like it's the night before Christmas, and who is that? It's Santa Claus.
This has a cold open with a random ass family that honestly threw me off at first because I'm like, what the fuck happened? Why are we already in the middle of this?
I was fighting with I rented this on iTunes, which was its own awesome experience because we bought a new Air, I guess, like a laptop.
Okay. Yeah.
But the laptop that my iTunes account likes is the old one. So when I tried to log into the app on my TV and rent the movie, it was like, dude, you can't do that, man. You need to go to your computer and get a code. And then I went to this computer and tried to log in, and it's like, no, this isn't the computer. You need to go to the older computer to authorize the new computer to be used.
Oh, fuck.
I ended up using like 3 different devices to finally rent it. And then I turned off the subtitles, and after about a minute, it was like, hey, these subtitles aren't on. That clearly can't be right. So because they're muted, we're going to turn the subtitles on for you. And I was just kind of sitting there as Art was axe murdering people, and it did yield the term flesh squelching, which was pretty good. It was like, hey, what am I hearing right now? And it's like, oh, well, he just went into the little brother's room, and then you heard flesh squelching.
I knew immediately when you said flesh squelching which part you're talking about, too. That's so funny, because I remember hearing those sounds and just being like, that's gross. That's just gross.
Squelching.
That's just flesh squelching. Just a bunch of flesh squelching in there. God damn.
Yeah. And then like the mom is sleeping next to her husband, and then a bunch of flesh squelching happens there.
Yeah.
She wakes up groggy with like blood on her hands, like, what's going on? And freaks out there, and then there's some more flesh squelching. And then like pretty much that whole family dies, except did the little girl, what do you think happened? They kind of leave it for you to think, and I know Art's a pretty evil dude. He would kill a kid. He just did. But, maybe like screwing with people more. I don't know what happened. So.
That girl is 100% dead. There's no chance in hell that little girl lived through that.
See, I thought they have so the little girl's hiding in a cupboard. Like in the cabinets or whatever. Art kind of tunes into that. He's eating the cookies and stuff. Christmas, Santa Claus. I think the rationale is this isn't even Christmas Eve necessarily, but like sometimes the elves come to scout out the house. This is this thing the mom says. In adorable Christmas fashion or whatever. And then he, enjoys the bloody milk and cookies or whatever.
So gross. Ugh. Out of all the things we've seen in this series, this is by far the most egregious and disgusting.
Is the milk?
Blood and milk together? Oh, I'm going to throw up thinking about it. The worst.
Well, for a while, Nesquik had that kind of strawberry syrup.
Yeah.
You could get this. You could get this effect.
Oh, I remember. Yep. For sure.
So...
that pink milk.
I guess I didn't even think about it because, syrups and things I've seen. But you're right, I guess. Yeah, that's not a great combination. But, okay, so the axe is on the countertop. And I was like, okay, if we see him go for the axe, she's definitely dead. But then they cut away, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
She's dead.
And then, all right. We'll put a pin in that scene a little bit because I thought about it again like 2 hours from now. So we'll save that for later.
Fair enough.
But after this little like cold Christmas open thing, I think you get the title card and whatnot.
Yeah. And then it goes back 5 years to where we left off.
I don't think I like this 5-year timeline.
Yeah, I don't either.
I was like, wait, the last movie was like 2 years ago. And in my mind, I assumed this event we would see in this movie would be like, I don't know, 6 weeks later from
or
Halloween.
A year at the very most, like a full year.
Okay.
Maybe.
But yeah, they do this kind of extended time thing. And I sort of decided as I was watching it that they kind of wanted Sienna to plausibly be at a place where she's not super antsed up, terrified, like still frazzled from the last movie. They're like, no, she's been in therapy for like years and she's buried a lot of this stuff. So you can have scenes where she's just kind of picked up by her aunt and uncle and is kind of just having normal conversations for at least a little while in the movie before things unravel again. Like it kind of gets back to like a normal pace of a horror movie where stuff isn't happening for a while. But I wasn't sure if it was worth it.
What I found interesting is I think I landed on the other side of this, where I found it interesting that they tried making a movie here where they spent time actually dealing with Sienna's like PTSD and like kind of showing how that came out in some way. Maybe arguably too much time, because I'm just going to straight up say that I don't think this is nearly as good as 2, this movie. I think it kind of fell for me. And I think a large portion of that is because I kind of just wanted the horror schlock. And what I got was them making a movie where there's like character development and like they're trying to deal with like this character and what she went through, while also shoehorning in weird horror schlock here and there, but not even like fully in the way that I kind of wanted.
No, yeah, I've been kind of describing it more as like a gentle decline. Like the series has been kind of like, I really like that All Hallows Eve is like an initial jump in.
Yep.
And then it's kind of like first Terrifier, a little less good. 2, kind of long, little too.
I like 2 quite a bit. It went so dumb.
Overall, have the most good stuff in it, but yeah, I think I felt a little weird because I was like, this is still pretty good, but like I'm not connecting with it quite the same way. I'm not feeling the dark energy that I was feeling the first couple times we were doing this. And I think they've changed a couple ingredients in a way that I'm not sure I like.
Okay.
Specifically, pretty early here, we get kind of a pickup of Chris Jericho and like the asylum stuff that was going on.
Yep.
He's still got his zombie pie right there and everything. It honestly feels like they just shot this when they were making 2.
They surely did.
It really feels like, oh, we're just gonna put a couple more minutes of stuff together here for the intro of the next one or whatever.
Sure.
But he runs in on the scene we saw of like the birthed head and everything. The head is eating a person and kind of digesting it through weird tubes and things and getting power back or
some
something.
Weird demon umbilical cord or something.
Yeah. And Vicky, I guess, is the attacker here. She attacks Chris Jericho and starts ripping him apart, right?
I think so, yeah, because the head can't really do anything. It's just
the head is
waiting there.
Oh, right. No. We get our nice little intro, right? We get Art's headless body is discovered by a cop at the ending, like the site of the ending of the first movie, second movie rather.
Yeah.
And the head just attacks this dude and rips his head off, and then we get a scene where the headless Art has like a substitute dummy head on his neck just to look normal.
He's just like
to travel.
He's on the train just holding his head there like he's having a bad headache or something, but there's this blank dead stare. It's so good, honestly. It's such a fun scene.
There's this lady on the train just kind of giving him a look. And it was at this moment that I, in my mind, put together like, oh, it'd be funny if this lady said like, that's a great costume or something like that.
Right.
And then I was happy that that scene does happen, but they put more into it where it's like, no, we're definitely going to have that scene. But it's them leaving the asylum, Art now with his own head, and Vicky all blooded up with Chris Jericho parts or whatever.
Yeah.
Like them leaving on the train. And then it's a wide shot, so it was weird seeing like, what? Art the Clown? And it's like, no, it's a Halloween guy. Like a guy dressed as Art the Clown walks onto the train and it's like, oh man, that's great, you guys. You really went for it. I was gonna do the blood thing, but you guys, you killed it. I was like, yeah, that's funny. That's pretty good. Funny.
He has to take the picture.
And then they don't even really get into it, but this guy is clearly killed and robbed of his costume because next scene, Art has a fresh clown costume, and you're like, oh, funny. Okay.
Yeah. I just assume if you see Art the Clown, you're probably dead. Like that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, you can't even just kick it in a laundromat or anything. You're gonna get impaled by a broom handle or whatever, as we
So that lady's
time.
dead, right? The one that like
I guess so.
Yeah.
They didn't really have any overt like thing that I noticed. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, they were carrying her bag or something, or I don't know. I didn't pick up on
either.
a clue there.
Mm-hmm.
But probably. I mean, probably. But yeah, Chris Jericho is attacked by a headless body and Vicky, and then dismembered or whatever. And yeah, then we get into this kind of, is this no, this is where Vicky kind of cuts her own veins and sits in a bathtub of crap.
It basically
like sludge.
It's like a setting shot of where like they're going to be for the next 5 years. They're literally just going into hibernation. Yeah.
Yeah. Art sits in a squeaky like a rocking chair
in an attic.
Vicky sits in this gross gummo bathtub, from the Harmony Korine movie. And they just kind of go into hibernation or something. And then we get a couple like wreckers or whatever there.
That's later. That's after the jump.
Okay. That's after the 5 years thing.
Yeah.
I still don't love this timeline thing. Like that was something that was definitely nagging at me a little bit in the intro. It was just like, I guess they wanted to return to a plausible state of like stability or something like that. But I kind of wanted, for some reason, this kept occurring to me for like the first hour or half hour or something, where it's just like, man, I like how in Terminator 2, like Sarah Connor has not forgotten the events of Terminator 1 at all and is like a totally different person. She is like so battle ready and like committed to a asylum because she won't stop talking about the future war, and she's doing chin-ups in there and everything, just like it's gonna happen.
It's why she's one of the greatest characters in like media. It's why she's so strong.
And I like the establishment of the Sienna character, but I feel like them kind of just putting her in a closet for a while, kind of like, I thought she'd be more battle ready than ever. Like she's got a real shield now or something like that. But
and sharpening her
instead they're kind of
something.
like, I think what they do is they give her the belief that, no, I killed those things.
Yeah.
Like those things are dead. So they're not a problem anymore.
Which fair enough. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you think that, right?
Yeah, like
you're not attacked in 5 years.
Yeah, like Tommy Jarvis or whatever, I guess eventually has the thing where it's like, wait, is Freddy dead? Like, I know I chopped him up real good, but I don't know. And then he does the thing that he shouldn't have done, where he puts the lightning rod and whatever in those movies. This has the kind of assumption everything's returning to some normal state. She's allowed to leave the asylum now under care of her aunt and uncle. Things are getting better. They introduced this kind of, I guess, what is it, a niece or a...
Yeah, it would be her cousin.
Her younger cousin, Gabby, who's nosy. She checks on the Christmas presents and reads things and whatever. Yep. She's a fan, of Sienna's art and things. She's not really talking about the case a lot, which is refreshing, I guess. How does it kind of makes sense though?
Because how old is she? 8 or 9? Like she would have been 4 when all this shit happened. She wouldn't have really.
She wouldn't have, necessarily known why that went on, but yeah,
she's young. So.
Like, was Jonathan supposed to be 12 in the last movie? See, now that's like a John Connor thing where you're just like, wait, he's 10 in Terminator 2? That's stupid. And you're like, yeah, well.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's in college now, right? Like in the dorms.
Yeah, he's like first year college, maybe graduated high school early.
So he was 13 probably then, 12 or 13. Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
I guess.
I don't know. There's something about this timeline thing kind of made me scratch my head. To be fair, like if we're going to invoke any Friday the 13th comparisons, they screw up their timeline like immediately.
Yeah.
In those movies. Because they go from like kid Jason to like 20-year-old Jason in the second movie, even though it was made a year later. So it's just like, wait a minute. So is this second movie set in 1989, even though in real life it's 1981? Like it's just, it gets weird at some point. So you're probably not supposed to worry about it. But,
So we get this is where she starts having her PTSD stuff kind of show up, where Brooke is saying like pass the potatoes or something.
Yeah, at the dinner, like they're having like Chinese food or something, and she just kind of freezes up, staring across the table, and goes into a fugue or whatever, where she's seeing her murdered friend from the last movie. Kind of a fun opportunity to have that character return in some way. I almost thought that would happen more, but it just kind of stops, you know?
Yeah, and I think this is kind of where I'll just circle back to what I said originally, where I think if you're going to do character type stuff and do horror movie schlock, you have more of these reoccurring dead characters show up and just do terrifying weird shit or something. A little bit more into it.
There was a handful of like fun ideas in here, but it didn't fully grasp.
It didn't go all the way.
Them.
It didn't turn the knob up enough for me, I don't think.
No. Yeah, I felt it was kind of like, I guess this is the biggest like expenditure and like the biggest crew and stuff they've worked with up to this point. So
we'll get into the budget and stuff later, because that's been the thing I've been telling you or whatever. But yes,
and I guess a more rapid turnaround on this too, because we went from like 2016 to 2022 for 2, and now it's just 2 years later for this one.
Yeah.
So less gestation or whatever, less time to fret about it. Like kind of more like I have to make this to hit a release date. So it maybe feels, I'm not going to say like rushed, because like the horror franchises we're talking about had like annual sequels. And stuff like that. It's not quite that thrown together, but you feel a little like I was feeling it a little bit with like some of the events that happened off screen. Like at some point they go to retrieve the sword and that just happened off screen.
Off screen.
Like, oh, weird. Okay.
Why wouldn't you show that? Like a Return of the Terror. This is the perfect spot, by the way. You return her to the Terrifier. She sees Art the Clown popping out of no, like in her mind or whatever. She sees Brooke dead or whatever. Like all of this.
Yeah, like in my mind, that like sealed the deal that they filmed all that prologue stuff like 2 years ago, and all that stuff is gone now or something. Like it's like, oh no, we tore down all those sets and stuff. We can't just have that for no reason. We still got to save money or something like that.
Are you curious?
Was my thought.
The filming like timeline? I can give you a quick rundown of it.
Yeah. If you know, like I'm just hype, like trying to come up with what justify what I saw. So yeah.
So in May 2023, they announced that they're going to expect to begin filming in November, December of 2023. Principal photography began in February in 2024 and wrapped in April 2024.
And there's a little bit of stuff in June or something.
Additional scenes in June. Yeah. So very tight.
I just don't know why that Terrifier set stuff, because it seems like an important place. And they just kind of don't actually return to it in the story. It's weird. Well, she does. Sienna apparently went there, but we just don't really get that. I sort of feel that might be like some of the trivia I read was also Damien Leone was told like, hey, 2 hours. Like, can you get 2 hours for us? So he might have been trimming some things here and there. Like, just like, we could have a scene where this happens, but we'll just have her sitcom style return with the thing to the set we have. You know, like it's a little weird.
I'll be honest with you. When I was watching it, like she came in with the gift and it took me a moment to kind of like put in my head, oh, that's probably the sword.
That must be it then. Yeah. It was so underwhelming how it happened that it was a little like, oh, really? Okay. I thought we'd get a scene, but all right.
We should have had a scene.
There was at least 2 other, oh, I thought we'd get a scene where that happens. That come later. More important, I guess. But we'll discuss that as we get there.
Sure.
Oh yeah, they abuse some rats, you know, like Art and Vicky are kind of coming up with some new murder kit, and they get way into liquid nitrogen, you know.
Yeah. So freezes a rat and slams it on the desk or whatever on the table.
In terms of the vibe stuff I was saying, where it's a little different, though, I don't know that I kind of like the little pale girl because she was also silent, and her and Art had this kind of like silent glee going on, like this kind of mime act thing going on. Like now that Vicky can just talk and articulate their schemes, I don't know that I like that. Like I kind of liked wondering what weird stuff they were up to. and kind of inferring what they're doing. Like, oh, art clearly has some sort of supernatural thing. I'm trying to just like see what they're doing and see what's happening and see glowing eyes and kind of like figure out what's going on. But now you have a character just kind of saying, this is what we're doing. Like kind of like Chucky or something, where it's just like, no, Brad Dourif is going to tell the kid, I need you. I'm going to get you, Andy. I'm going to take your body or whatever. And it's like, that's just a different thing. That's not quite as interesting to watch, I guess, for me.
It's not.
Like I'm not as engaged as a viewer trying to puzzle out what's happening. And I kind of liked into like the surreal element too with the dream stuff, like the clown cafe, like is like how much of this is real? Like Sienna can actually go there. Can she be harmed there? Like if she drowns in that thing, what happens? Like there's a little more like intrigue, I guess, or guesswork to my
some weird like ethereal kind of vibe going on, to the point where there's so none of that in this that there is a point we'll talk about in a bit that I thought it was part of this weird dream, because it didn't make sense how quickly it turned like that. It didn't make sense at all. I
wonder if it'll be the same moment. Yeah, there was a moment where I was like, oh shit, this is actually happening. Like there was a moment where it took me a second to like, oh no, this is definitely really real. Like it threw me for a minute. There's a little bit of stuff with like the forging of the sword, and you get some of Sienna's memories of her dad, which I at least enjoyed lore-wise.
That stuff. Yep.
Because
that was good.
Like you just saw glimpses of the dad in pictures, and there was some talk about like, oh yeah, he was really great until he had this medical thing, and oh, I don't like what happened. You're just like, what happened? Did he kill people? Like, what's going on? So here you get Jason Patric as like this comic artist, and like little Sienna's commenting on his work and stuff, and be like, I thought you were gonna make a cool lady that can beat Blaster Man. And he's like, oh yeah, I've been saving it and whatever. And they have that moment. So that stuff was appreciated. Was that a dream Sienna was having that were memories, or was it just in her journal? Like that was we saw it.
She had a freak out at some point, and she was drugged by her uncle, or they gave her like a
sedatives or something, right? To bring her back down.
It was part of her dreams or whatever.
Yeah. Because I really like the fire dream in the second one, right? Like where her room is on fire in actual fact, and then the clown cafe is on fire, and you're just kind of like getting this sense of like halfway between sleep and awake, and it's all interesting and weird. Like I didn't there's a little bit of that with like the forging of the sword vision she has of these like weird creatures, you know, like there's like this kind of angel statue thing, and like this like a metal forger guy and like a weird helmet just kind of hammering the sword or whatever, and you're just like, did the dad go into another dimension to get the sword? Like there's a little bit of like wondering what weirdness happened.
That part is so sick stuff. Just the fact that the like angels, the demons obviously like a normal like moving thing, but the statue's like an actual statue that does like these jerky movements to like hold it back or whatever. It's so sick. God, that's so cool. That's such a cool spot.
That was a little glimpse of what I'm hoping we're going to get a lot of in the fourth movie, I guess. Like there's potential for the fourth movie to be really cool, because they basically fall into that realm or something, it seems like. So I'm just hoping for some wild like Hellraiser stuff, or like kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street dream business or something like that. Just really out there business can happen in this next movie potentially, right? So I don't know. I guess I'm still happy I've caught up, so I can see what the theater experience is like with the crowd or whatever, because that seems like probably a big part of this whole thing, like this phenomenon that's happening.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm trying to remember where we kind of left off here. We haven't really talked about Jonathan at all. He kind of has this whole like side thing that they cut to what he's going on in his life. He's in college. He has a roommate whose girlfriend or whatever is really adamant on getting him on her podcast.
Yeah, a little bit about true crime podcasting, you know.
Yeah, true crime podcast. Yep. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it was getting a little meta because it's like, oh man, it's crazy because we're gonna be podcasting about this fake podcast in this movie, so
yeah,
we're like, weird. But yeah, they don't actually have a scene where they successfully get Jonathan on the podcast. He's just watching an episode to see what they're about,
yeah,
and cringes himself to sleep or something. He's kind of like, yeah, in this weird state with that. What's her name? Nina or something like
Mia. Her name is Mia.
Mia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of their podcast.
The co-host that I don't think really comes up, but yeah, like the co-host. I mean, I think they have it here in the credits. They tell you what the show is called.
Yeah, I just
Graven Image.
Graven Image. Yep, that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Why not? So it's weird because Jonathan does literally fuck all except for kind of just be a little bitch. And then
he had done something, right? Like he'd written letters spelling out stuff he'd figured out in demonology readings and things.
Sure.
In the initial time Sienna was in the hospital.
In the clink.
Like she's really holding. It's like, no, Jonathan, what are you talking about? Like you spelled this all out. Like you remember what you said in this letter, and kind of shows it to him. He's like, I'm trying not to worry about that anymore. I'm trying to leave it in the past or whatever.
Yeah.
I am almost refusing to accept what canonically may have happened to Jonathan in this movie because it's too underwhelming. Like it's like, what? Really? You can't.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
So,
because the sibling thing was such a big deal in the second one, to the point where towards the end of that movie, I was like, oh, I think one of them's gonna have to sacrifice themselves for the other, or some big thing's gonna happen with this dynamic. Yeah. And then there's at least a moment in this movie where Vicky says, oh no, your brother's dead. Like this is his skull right here. And you're just like, what? Like really? Like I wasn't sure what to do with that.
Yeah. It's weird because you kind of think
that's skipping ahead, I guess, but we'll backtrack through some stuff.
You kind of think that's going to be the case because she asks him, like, can you please, like, Art's here. There's a whole thing where she kind of finds out that Art's back or whatever. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, she has her initial freak out. There's an event at the mall where she got like serious bad vibes, but she technically didn't see his face or anything, but she figures he's back. And then that's when she kind of reaches out and Jonathan is shown with what he has going on and everything.
Yeah.
And Uncle Greg goes to get him, right?
To go pick him up. And then you can tell it's the fake voice. It's like the fake Jonathan voice. So something's happened to him. Which is
a trick we saw like the little pale girl do in the last movie. She can, speaking of Terminator, she can mimic a voice.
Yep.
In a phone, and she kind of says, "Oh yeah, you're right outside. Okay, great. I'll be there in a minute." But then for our benefit, the phone gets all weird for a second. So you're like, "Oh, I've seen this trick. I know that was actually them talking."
I thought for sure they like captured him and were going to do something. The fact that they just straight up say that he's dead and don't show anything is ridiculous. That can't be real.
To the point where, I'm almost wondering if they do have him prisoner and he's like a backup vessel plan or something like that.
Right.
Because it's just too underwhelming for that to be true.
Like, please have a reason.
In the scene we're talking about, they have already lied about whose skull that is to somebody. So I'm just like, they're demons. They don't have to tell the truth. They're just trying to like destroy their will or whatever in this moment. So
that's right.
Like, so in my head canon, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is probably that little girl's skull from the beginning of the movie. And that at least justifies why that whole scene happened. Because otherwise it is just this like thing that happened in the movie. Like there's no real reason for it. It's just a inversion of Christmas trope stuff of just like, oh, Santa's coming down the chimney, but it's a murderer, like it's got that stuff in it, but it otherwise serves the story in no real way unless Art and the little pale girl need to murder in order to gain power again or something like that. Like, they are shaken loose from the dormant state by those destruction dudes or whatever, those workers we didn't really talk about. But they steal their IDs and use those and such. But yeah, the way they're kind of stirred from their slumber or whatever is these two guys come to wreck the house. And they, I did kind of like that each of them found something fucked up, and they were both calling to the other to come see the fucked up thing they found. You know,
yeah.
it's like, dude, get over here. There's like this dead lady in the bathtub. It's like, no, you get over here. There's like a clown in a chair, and then they both get like attacked at the same moment.
I will say this is the only instance where there's a weird like sexualization, like gross macabre moment in this movie. And I'm so glad that, first of all, they don't really show like what's happening, even though they show like the movements or whatever, but they don't show the actual thing. They show you everything
you need to know to get what's exactly what's happening, which is Vicky is pleasuring herself with a piece of sharp glass to Art murdering a man. Yeah. And I was at least like, okay, at least this movie has a fucked up thing that's actually pretty fucked up. So good, I guess. Like, you can check that off the list of Terrifier requirements or something.
There's more.
At least
we'll
once
get to.
I want to go like, oh.
That one's hard. And that's the only time that happens in this movie, like sexualized, like grossness, I would say.
Yeah, and they've backed away from the shit stuff. You know, you were kind of like saying at the beginning of 2, it's like, oh, is this what this movie is? Just like two clowns shitting everywhere and laughing? And it's like, no, that they have one bit in this another weird kind of isolated scene that at least provides our character with a costume, so it's not like purely useless.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where you know, sitting in Santa's lap, Art pees everywhere. You know,
he pees on him.
One of his japes. Yeah, that's one of his things he does.
Yep.
So despite being undead and like a corpse of some kind for 5 years, he still has a working bladder.
He still has a bladder.
You know, that's something. You know, zombies don't often get that.
That's right. Pretty good.
Oh yeah. No, you're. I was gonna kind of be like, whatever, the shower scene, but there is something that happens in the shower scene that's like pretty Terrifier 1 stuff.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
forgot.
I was like, oh, whatever. That's like some Dead Alive. Like there's just buckets of blood everywhere. But no, there's a thing that happens.
I forgot about the shower scene. Yeah, we have to talk about that. That's for some reason that's not as bad to me. That's
okay. What's the scene you were saying gets there? The rats?
Yeah, the rats at the end is just awful.
Okay.
The rats at the end. I'm a little embarrassed to even type this out, but I wanted to see what people were saying. And I typed in Google, like, Terrifier 3 is, like, deplorable or something. Like, I just wanted to see if people are just, like, talking shit because of some of the fucked up stuff. And, like, yeah, there are, of course, because people are like, this is disgusting or whatever. And I was just like, okay, it is disgusting, some of the shit they've done in this. Okay, I'm glad that I'm still on human level here.
The trivia again noted that like the rat scene was the scene David Howard Thornton thought was the grossest. I guess he got kind of the willies or something on the day. That nauseous a little, yeah.
That scene is awful.
Whereas for some reason, while it was going on, I immediately like was like, oh, like in Too Fast, Too Furious, you know, because there's a scene. Yeah, there's a scene in that where the threat of rats killing someone is like explained thoroughly in a way that's like, oh, that's really screwed up. Like they have a bunch of rats under a bucket and it's on top of a man's like torso or whatever, and there's like, so what we're gonna do is if you lie to me, I'm gonna heat up this bucket and the rats are gonna want to get away from the heat.
They're gonna try to bury into you.
The only way to get away from you is through you, so they're gonna rip into you and stuff.
That's right.
Oh, that's crazy what's gonna happen. So in this I thought some like, oh, the rats are gonna fully go into her, and then like some alien style burster business is gonna happen with rats coming out of a person, but they just kind of get stuck, and they're like, all right, whatever, we'll just cut your throat to let the rats out, you know, like so. I feel like every time we do one of these, there's like a moment that I assume will be worse. So then you start saying like, So no, they just kind of cut her throat, and it's no big deal. Like the horrible thing that happens isn't as horrible as the thing I imagined. So in a way, it let me off the hook. You know?
So you were expecting them to actually burrow into her and then chew their way out or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas they kind of gave up on the rat plan a step earlier than I thought. So, you know.
Well, I mean, that's just animal cruelty. That's not cool.
I think the real awful thing that happens is the hammering of the tube into her mouth.
Yeah.
Like, that was the stuff
yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the start of it. I consider that whole thing part of it. So.
Yeah. I mean, it is a little, I guess a little callback to kind of Terrifier 1 stuff where a associate of the person has to see an awful thing happen to a person they care about is kind of part of the
worst part.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sienna has to see this happen to her aunt.
Well,
and
then
her
the
aunt's
kid
parting thing is
the
like,
kid has to
you
see her
kill these
mom.
people. Oh yeah, Gabby's there too.
Yeah, it's bad. Like that whole deplorable.
No,
that's what I did
after it's happened, right? Because Gabby, like the mom is told this skull right here. This is Gabby. Gabby's dead. Deal with that. And then she's like, you know, kill them for me. Like really fuck them up. And it's like, oh no. And then Gabby comes in and sees that her mom's dead, which I guess is a running thread in the series now.
Yeah.
Where like in 2 that happened with like the big horrible scene in 2. The moment that's the worst about it for me was the mom coming in and seeing that had happened.
It's awful. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, they like to turn the screws a little bit. I guess I just feel like they're turning the screws slightly less tightly each time. So it's like less traumatizing each time, but that might just be our
Is it because you're
dying.
being desensitized to the point?
Yeah, Terrifier is desensitizing me in real time, I guess maybe, but maybe.
You know what else each of these movies has that has become kind of the thing is a scene where Art is just being kind of a funny dude with a bunch of random people.
Yes, that scene gets to happen with like, hey, as soon as Clint Howard appeared, I was like, oh, weird. We were talking about him in like House of the Dead.
Yep.
So now he's back.
Clint Howard's in everything.
As Smokey the Barfly, and him and this bartender and Daniel Roebuck as Santa Claus are just kind of closing out this pub or whatever. And Art comes in, and Santa is very accommodating because just like, hey, he's excited about the costume. Those are the rules. Like, he can come sit on Santa's lap. That's the deal, you know?
That's a good Santa, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice guy. Hey,
I'm here to spread Christmas cheer. This weird adult is stoked about my costume.
Yeah.
That's fine. You know, I'm here. Santa's at your service. That's totally fine. He pulls on the beard. It's like, whoa, hey, buddy, that's a real beard. I like that Santa gives him the name Clowny to just refer to him in this scene.
Yep.
And that was okay. I think the scene that turns the room against him is the peeing thing, right? Like that's when everyone gets hostile. It's like, hey, whoa, you crossed the line, buddy. Get out of here. And they start like shoving him around. And then he goes to his bag. And I was actually happy with the surprise he has in his bag because it's a thing we missed in the second movie, which is Art's signature weapon.
Yeah, his alt.
Gun. A pistol.
He alted.
Because in the moment, I was a little bit like, what's he going to pull out of there where he can just deal with 3 dudes? And it's just like, oh, right, he has a gun.
Yeah, like he just shoots him in the fucking head.
He's not above using it. Yeah. So he shoots the bartender in the throat, shoots Clint Howard right in the head. Smokey is done. And then sets about terrorizing Santa Claus for a few minutes.
Clint Howard has the nicest death that he could get from Art. An instant kill.
No torturousness. He's just gone. Lights are out. You know. Yeah, I guess so.
If I ever meet Art the Clown, I hope that's how I go.
Sure. Yeah, it could be much worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That said, I feel like the freezing and smashing of the limbs thing, something about how it was set up, it was like so clearly like none of this like gore business is happening to Daniel Roebuck, the actor. Like, he's just sitting in his chair with a perfectly clean shirt the whole time. Mm-hmm. And then we see like a cut in of like, oh, his legs all ripped up and you can see the bone. And
the cutaways.
Shoulder. Yeah, but it's like, no, but he's like, that's not happening to Daniel Roebuck. Like, they're not putting him through this makeup process or anything. They're just having him writhe around yelling in the chair.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I at least noticed that. I'm not saying I want it to be more real and graphic, but it's a 2-year turnaround. I think I felt the corners a little bit being cut.
Yeah, cut. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
He tears off his beard. Like, he freezes the lower part of his face and tears off his beard. But he does not make much use of it. He doesn't decide that's the Santa beard.
Yeah. Which is a good idea.
He does get a reasonably clean Santa costume out of the deal, right?
Yep.
And puts it to use, substituting at the mall to move the line along. I mean, this lazy Santa went on an extended break with like a huge line. So Art stepped up, he was like, hey, let's keep this moving along.
And he gave some gifts out, some actual gifts.
It's true. I thought there was going to be morbid turns on like the dolls and things.
Me too.
Like, no, I think he just robbed a store, or maybe this is another justification of the opening scene. He stole all those presents from that family and is redistributing them.
Oh, you're probably right. Actually,
that's what that's what I was thinking might have been going on. I did like the scene. It was in the trailer that I saw last year, whenever this was coming out. Like, the elf saying, yeah, he's scaring me. Like,
yeah,
like, it's just kind of like
he's scaring the kids.
Your Santa's scaring the kids. It's like, yeah, that thing's scary. Like, it's pretty good acknowledgement.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And I mean, they're right to be scared because he gives one of the kids a fucking bomb.
He sure does. In the moment leading up to this, like, the moment for Sienna is like she's in the store, starts hearing the Clown Cafe song in Muzak form, and then sees ominous Santa walk past. But she doesn't see Art's face because he's wearing like this, I guess, decoration mask thing,
like a Santa mask, of some sort.
Yeah, so he's concealed at that point, so she doesn't actually see him, but she gets all those bad cafe.
Well, she knows it's him because he pulled it up and kind of winked at her or whatever. But this is what threw me off, is I thought she was being crazy again, because why would she be there?
Right. I guess I did appreciate they had the dead friend show up to at least give that uncertainty to the characters as to like, all right, we love Sienna and everything, but that guy's dead, so
what she sees,
what's she talking about? Like, maybe this is just kind of an episode which she has allegedly had for the past 5 years or something, right? So it at least kind of keeps things from escalating to DEFCON 5 or whatever. Like, she's not on full Valkyrie angel warrior, I gotta get my sword and deal with this. Like, she's kind of still shaken about it and retreats or whatever.
I mean, she's a broken human after one of the most traumatic things ever. It makes sense.
I'm trying to, like, how does she get, like, do they just kind of get bad vibes and leave the mall and then the bombing happens? Because she's not literally there when it happens, right? She sees it on the news when she gets home.
Yeah, they just leave. Right? So after they're shopping, she sees him walk by or whatever. I think she probably thinks she had an episode because
so
she doesn't tell anyone.
I'm not doing well. I gotta go have my meds or something. Like, they just get out of there. And then the uncle is watching on TV like, oh my God, what? And then it's like, oh yeah, there was this bombing at the mall. Sir, you saw what happened? Tell us, Tom Savini. What went on?
Yep.
Yeah. I thought this was a pretty great cameo. This is exactly who you want to get gore legitimacy or something like that.
Totally.
Yeah. So he's fun. He's just describing the scene where we just saw, where all these kids ran up to Santa and there was these toys, and then there was this giant explosion, and they get away with killing a bunch of little kids without it like dragging on. It's kind of like how they killed the little brother at the beginning of the movie with the flesh squelching. It's like, all right, something awful did happen to a kid, but you didn't have to see it drag on or anything like that. So it kind of gets away with it a little bit. I felt like All Hallows Eve still has the most like with like the babysitter kids get like shown to the babysitter like you failed as a babysitter.
Oh yeah,
they're dead. You know, like look at their corpses, and you're like, oh geez. So that moment still was the most disturbing Art the Clown killing kids moment that has happened in the series so far for me. So this was
he kills a lot of kids.
He does kill a lot of kids. It is real this time, as opposed to like weird adults playing kids in the Clown Cafe Dream last movie, where he Tommy guns like 10 people.
That wasn't
weird. Real.
Yeah, that's true. So it's fine.
It's like he killed the Wiggles or something. Like it was like kids show hosts, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
This is like, no, those were children playing children for a minute there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty terrible, you know? Again, I guess I'm at least glad Vicky hasn't said like, oh yeah, we have to really torture parents and we feed off their sadness or something like that. Like, I don't want to know if that's why they're doing it or if it's just, Art's just crazy. Art's just a murder man. Like he, you know,
just some weird exposition dump.
The clown. Yeah. You know,
if like we kill three more, then our souls will be just like, holy shit.
Yeah, they have some medallion with 7 gems on it and they need to fill it with kids' souls or something like that. They're not like spelling it out like that. It's not that cut and dry.
Yeah.
The only like rules that get articulated is like we are actively attacking Sienna's like sanity and stability so that we can like take over her body, I guess seems to be the demon thing they're doing, right?
Yes.
So by robbing her of her support people and like terrorizing her with all this stuff, terrifying her, if you will.
Yeah, they're breaking down her mental defenses essentially.
Yeah. And I guess the way they visualize it in the scene where they directly attack, this is after the aunt has been ripped apart by rats and everything. Gabby's being actively threatened or whatever with like a knife and stuff. They're just like, let go, Sienna, let go. And then like the glowing eyes start to transfer from Vicky to Sienna's eyes. Like her eyes go blank and start to glow and get all weird.
Yeah.
But then she rolls a 20 or something and just kind of gets all that willpower and forces it back out. And they're like, wow, you are strong. That's crazy. What if I told you this skull is your brother? Oh, and they put the glasses on the skull and then she's like, oh no, this is even worse than I could have imagined. You know, like they're trying this thing. But again, in the moment, I was just like, surely not, right? Like you already killed the uncle off screen. But at least you're doing Christmas gags with like, oh, well, his head's on top of the Christmas tree and we're dressing up the tree with intestines. They love intestines, you know. I kind of didn't anticipate the intestinal stuff they're into, but you know, instead of like the strings of popcorn or whatever, they're putting that around the tree. You know, that's gruesome, right? That's something. I think they try to garrot Sienna with the intestine.
Yes, and she bites through it. So gross. It's so gross.
It's hardcore though. That's metal, right?
It's like cool. Yeah, very cool. We need to talk about the bathroom scene. So after the explosion happens and it's on the news, Sienna kind of
this is at the college. Yeah, so this is ostensibly where Jonathan is at. He's supposed to go to this party. Roommate guy. Mace or Cole and Nia go off to just have a hot shower sex session. You know, they're just so fired up. I think she is sexually manipulating him.
She is.
To really push Jonathan to be on the podcast or something?
Yes.
What was the goal here? Okay.
No, that's exactly what it is. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Something to that effect, yeah. And I think they established Art has a chainsaw. Is this where they established Art has a chainsaw? You know, because earlier there's a little eavesdrop moment with Art that I thought was kind of fun because nothing happens. It's like Nia and Cole talking in the dorm room, and this is where Art kind of like hears what's up with Jonathan and knows he's around, right? Like he's just kind of sitting, like leaning in the doorway, going like, oh, and kind of doing his mime stuff. I think this was my favorite art mime business that happened in this movie. Was that little moment there where he's just kind of a creepy eavesdropper guy.
Sure.
You know, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess it pays off here where he attacks them with a chainsaw. And I guess I was wondering in the moment, like as soon as he starts revving that thing, surely they will notice.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets it going after like 2 poles or whatever, so they don't really have time to do anything. And then we get a like, oh man, Nia gets a lot of like bad defensive wounds and like arm cuts and things.
Yep.
She gets horribly murdered first, right? Like Cole is on the ground freaking out and unable to help because his leg got cut.
His leg was cut, and as he tries running away, it collapses. Ugh, I hate it.
I guess
it collapses.
That was one of those like gore cringe things where you're just like, wait, isn't his leg cut? And then he tries to put weight on it, and they have some nice like Foley. I didn't turn on the subtitles then to be like bone crunching or whatever, but it's bad. So he's on the floor, not able to deal with this. Nia gets just carved up real bad, and then we get a full like cut in half business again, like call back to the first one, but with a chainsaw. So faster, I guess, but I don't know. He goes
right up the ass crack,
bad.
Right up it.
He does do that.
Yeah.
That was another like, oh yeah, this is a Terrifier movie. They find a little thing to poke here and there.
Yep.
And you know what? That is probably the one shot that contradicts a note I wrote where I was like, this could be rated R. This isn't unrated NC-17. You could do this. And it's like, I don't know about that. There's like, you might lose 12 seconds or something over the course of this movie to get it there. That might be true. You know,
you could make this rated R. There is a world where you can make this rated R, and I don't think you lose a lot of what the movie's trying to do. You just lose a lot of the stuff that I think most people come to Terrifier for, to be honest.
Right. Those clutch few seconds, maybe a hammer hit or something with the glass tube. Like there's probably a moment here and there where someone at the MPAA would be like, oh, come on, you know? So they just sidestep that whole thing. They just don't deal with that.
A second or two.
So. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, like when you're thinking, it's like, is this worse than the vice in Casino? You know, like the guy's head crunches up pretty bad. You know, I've seen this in R-rated movies. I don't know. Like there's.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the rats thing is pretty bad. That whole scene is pretty bad. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think this is nearly as bad. I think that this part is kind of fun. This what happens here, I could see happening in a Nightmare on Elm Street sort of thing, like a dream sequence.
The chainsaw killing or whatever.
Like a dude being ripped from his like ass up his spine or something. Like I could see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, at some point I've seen a bunch of chainsaw business in Evil Dead. Like that Peter Jackson movie with like the lawn. Is it Dead Alive?
Dead Alive, or there's another name for it.
Brain Dead.
Is it Brain Dead or Brain Damage? It's Brain something. It might be Dead.
Yeah, I think it's Brain Dead. Like the lawnmower blade buckets of business going on. Like this shower scene reminded me of that. Like you're kind of measuring this scene in volume of syrup used or whatever. It kind of has that kind of thing. And I think the trivia noted that this was towards the end of production and they used all the remaining gallons of blood they had.
That makes sense.
And then had to buy more.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm assuming they had to buy more for the tag on this scene, which I thought was great. Like this is the Art the Clown chicanery I come for, which is like as soon as I saw how much blood was on the floor and he sat down, I was like, blood angels. We're gonna get blood angels. It's like snow angels, but it's blood angels. That's perfect. And then he does that. And and his suit soaks up the blood, and you see a little angel thing, and you're just like, all right, there it is. This series still has some gas, you know. This all right. So
yeah, very true.
So our podcasting dream won't happen. We're not going to get a podcast episode in the movie. So that's too bad.
But I wonder if I like reached out if I could actually get somebody on that production to like chat, because it would be so cool just to hear about some of their like horror stories of just like, did you have like nightmares doing this?
I'm almost wondering if it's really fun on the set because it's so ridiculous.
Sure it is. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Like the way it's presented to us is like enhancing the macabre grotesquerie of it, but at some point there's just like such an absurd thing happening with fire hoses of syrup or whatever. Like maybe it's hilarious. I don't know.
I've definitely like done like homemade video stuff with friends where we did like the corn syrup blood and whatever, and like that shit is so fucking fun, but like obviously we never made anything worthwhile to show to anybody or anything. We were just having fun and making stupid little skits and shit. I do remember we left the buckets of blood just like at my buddy's like area there outside, and after a few months it just like rotted and was the worst smell ever. That shit was disgusting. So
you're at least lucky. I thought like every aunt in the neighborhood would be like, dude, there's buckets of syrup. They just forgot about it. We gotta get it. You know. Like,
I don't think anything was touching that shit. That was so gross. Oh god.
Okay.
Every time I think of like corn syrup blood now, I just get that image in my head and it makes me sick. So gross. Yeah, I'm sure it was a great time. I'm sure it was super fun having a scene where you hammer in a fucking tube into somebody's jaw, basically, down their throat.
I was just like, you have to assume they have pretty well realized fake versions of people, like latex corpse people or whatever that they have to use.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this attempt at transferring the stuff, they really accommodate that. Like, I appreciate that little pale girl and Art like kind of still respect Christmas, as a thing. Like,
he
little Gabby's
Santa.
like, hey, I get it. We're gonna be killed and everything, but can we open a present? It's Christmas. We gotta open a present, right?
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
You know what? Totally fair. We've just killed your mom. I don't know what's going through their.
Your dad is
brain.
nailed to the wall with his guts splayed out. Yeah.
It's a bit much. I agree. We're trying to do this whole possession thing, but all right, you could get a present in front of the tree, and of course we know that there's a magic sword under the tree. So yeah, and I'm maybe a little surprised that there's no like aura coming off the sword or whatever, or maybe it's so holy that they can't even perceive that would happen, because they like just don't suspect a thing. Vicky does criticize the wrapping thing, which tells us that like she knows exactly what's in it and did her snooping thing or whatever.
That was a good callback because they said like don't go snooping and don't open the presents and rewrap it or whatever.
She does it and she doesn't do a great job wrapping, so we always know when she's.
That was a good callback. I actually really appreciated that.
So Gabby hands the box to Sienna. It's the sword. It's the magic sword. She immediately slashes Art, I think, first, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of gives him a big cut across the general upper body, not quite neck area, gives him a bad hit or whatever. He does his little cringe away thing.
Yeah.
And Vicky's the one that really gets smoked here, right? Like this is.
Doesn't she throw it at her and like stab her with it or something? I don't remember.
Almost as like maybe a payback for the mouth glass thing that just happened. I think she gets it right in the mouth. Like the sword goes right in her mouth and like stabs into her face. Yeah. I think is how that goes.
How do I not remember
and I think
this?
I feel she's dead. Like she just kind of melts into.
Well, they cut her head off and she starts sludging.
Yes.
Yeah.
She also gets decapitated as part of this, but that doesn't necessarily work, because we've seen some of that not go well in the last movie, but she seems out of it. I don't know. This vessel seems destroyed or whatever. She melts away into sludge. I actually was wondering at this point if the sludge touched Gabby, would she become a vessel or something like that? But that's not what happens. Art gets his chainsaw and they have kind of a sword versus chainsaw battle.
Yeah.
At some point, Sienna's face is shoved right into the uncle's cavity there, which is nice and grody, like nice and gross business.
Pretty
Fight
gross.
staging.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at some point they articulated that this blade can't hurt her, which is why she wasn't killed by it in the last movie, I guess, too. She got stabbed by her own sword.
Right.
If you recall, right?
And it heals her.
Yeah. She makes the crazy decision like late in the movie to like, I can't reach Gabby. She's like, remember Sean Connery in the pit at the end of Last Crusade, I just can't reach him, or
Gabby's falling into the hell pit that created.
Yeah, she's falling into the hell pit. So like, what do I have that can help me reach? Oh yeah. I'll grab the blade of the sword and hand Gabby the handle. Yeah. And then I gotta save her. I gotta save her. I'll just bring her up. I guess I did appreciate backtracking 1 second. Yeah, it must heal her too. You're right, because
it does. It shows her hands heal after they've been bashed by the hammer.
The precautionary measure, I guess, Vicky and Art do is like, okay, we'll let you open a gift or whatever, but we're gonna smash the crap out of your hands. Yeah. So they take a big mallet and just crunch up her hands real bad. But then, once she's gripped the blade, it does seem to just be she can deal with that. Like it's working. She's able to wield it well. But yeah, she does this kind of hand grasp thing. How did she dispatch Art long enough to do this, though? I'm trying to remember what debilitating business happened to him.
I don't remember because Art actually runs away. He leaves.
Okay.
He leaves out the window.
Scene. Okay.
But I don't remember what.
Oh no, that was earlier. Because like when the destruction guys are in the house or something, like there's a moment where someone like looks back and Art's all bloody on the ground. Oh, that's the headless version.
Yeah, that's the headless version.
The cop is kind of like, wait, what? Where's that corpse I just saw? And then he gets sneak attacked or whatever.
Yeah.
Man.
No, what happens is the fight happens, and as the fight's happening, she gets the upper hand somehow. The hell portal opens, and he leaves through the window because there's a scene where he's on the bus and like looking at that woman or whatever that's reading the ninth circle or.
Yeah, I guess like right. He gets cut a couple times in the ensuing fight. But this fight is kind of just occupying Sienna's attention while this like ooze spreads all over the place from Vicky's body.
Yeah.
And she is occupied with like this kid's hope, I guess, that her mom is somehow okay. So she's staying over there just kind of processing this stuff that happened. And then like the sludge just kind of opens this portal into the floor or whatever, like just a poltergeist hole or something. Like it's just, that's clearly the other dimension. It's sort of like the hole in the basement of the Terrifier in the last movie or whatever. It's got all this kind of colorful smoke and stuff and weird sounds. So you just assume that's the dream realm or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah. Then Sienna's occupied to try to get Gabby out of there. I think she's at a point where she's basically at a point where she can either kill Art right now. Yeah, like chop him up real good, or save Gabby. So she opts to save Gabby, and he uses that opportunity to run away. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting because everything in this movie points to Art is literally just like a pawn or whatever. He's like the bodyguard for this demon thing. Because when like the portal opens and that demon thing is no longer around, like why is he here? He's not going to risk like getting fucked up and having to redo himself or whatever. He's out. And like,
that's his like demonic patron or whatever. He's
which is kind of interesting. He's not really the evil part. He's kind of like assistant to
he's like an enthusiastic supporter or something. Yeah. I think in Jonathan's letter they say like, that like there's this other realm, and in order to bridge between it, they need a willing participant or something like that. And it's Art, the serial killer, is like a perfect, the Behelit opens or whatever, and he's right there ready for that power or whatever. So
sure.
Yeah, so you're right. You get your ninth circle thing. You get this bus driver who I guess is the producer of the movie. Like
Oh,
I
is
think
it?
it's
Okay.
Phil Falcone or whatever is just kind of like, yeah, I don't really go in for that horror crap, the gore, more of a rom-com kind of guy,
Yeah, that's right.
And
He
then
does say
and then
that.
Art gets on the bus and everything. Um and where does it kind of leave things? Like you see, like the Gabby falls, like she goes into the realm. You see the wounds kind of heal right in front of her eyes. Like, so Sienna fully has superpowers and hopefully just knows it now, I guess, and doesn't go into therapy because she doesn't need it. She's a superhero, man.
Yeah,
Like, she should just get out there and be a demon slayer, like Dante or something.
I agree.
So hopefully that's the next movie.
Yeah,
But no,
Devil May Cry.
she's clearly gonna go on a quest to save Gabby. So I
Yes.
hope that's interesting.
It like literally
And
ends there with her basically saying like I'll find you, Gabby, or something. Like it just ends. It's crazy.
yeah, what's the final gag? Does Art get a gag at the end? Does he get a kind of
Not that I remember.
thing? Okay.
His gag would just be kind of being on the bus, I think, and just being weird and creepy. But it doesn't really go anywhere.
Doesn't wink or something, or someone else's eyes glow or whatever.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. I don't think so.
All right.
Because the
So just
evil
time to
seems
go-
to be in the realm, right? The demon realm now.
Yeah, and I don't know that we get a glimpse of that either. Okay, I guess we shouldn't quite brush over like the big moment that happens with the dad in the flashbacks is when
Yes.
he hands her the drawing of the angel character. He kind of has like an aneurysm or some sort of tumor related weird seize up that still implies to me that like he got up to some bad business before he died, or maybe had to kill himself to not become a vessel or something. I don't know what the lore is going to do with his character, but they seem to be interested in that being a thing they reveal. I guess I like that there seems to be like coherent intent between movies. Like, I think I'm mostly mapping these to Nightmare on Elm Street at this point, but those movies sort of seemed to be operating with like, yeah, we made enough money, make another one, gin up some crap for Freddy to do.
Yeah. And for those, it doesn't matter. It's their dream worlds, right? They could do literally whatever and it makes sense somehow.
Yeah. Whereas this seems to like have plans for like, Art hasn't been defeated. Art has this means of coming back. Like we kind of have plans for this over a few stories or something. So at least there's that,
Yeah.
Like I guess I do feel this. It is definitely not my favorite. It might be my least favorite, but at least they're in a position where the next one could be interesting in a different way, and because of its tremendous success, like $90 million or whatever, I guess we can get into that, like the costs and production and things.
Sure. I think I don't know if we talked about it last time. I should bring up the other ones just as a comparison. Do you want to guess what the budget for this movie was? Or do you know it?
I saw it, yeah.
Okay, so
it was $2 million, right?
It's $2 million, yeah. Did you see what the box office brought in for it?
The number 90 million is in my mind.
Yeah, it's like 90.3 million. So
that's
90
a worldwide
million. Or let's just see here. I believe so, yeah. In comparison, Terrifier 2, which was the biggest hit before that, had a budget of $250,000, so $250,000, and made 15. So yeah, the trajectory for this thing is very good, and I'm hoping that means they're gonna get some real money to do some real cool like demon world shit going on.
Yeah, I guess it sounds like they're scaling up the number of hands on deck, the kind of like Damien Leone didn't have to do the gore effects himself this time. They have like actual studio things doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess they can hopefully deliver a really wild fourth chapter with some I kind of wanted to get back to that clown cafe sequence kind of surrealness of the second movie. That would be a ideal place, I guess.
So the scene that I was wondering what the fuck is going on here is she wakes up from her nap and she hears Greg and the wife or whatever, the aunt and uncle, like talking,
like scheming or something, right?
Of like, what do we do with her because she's gonna have another outburst and blah 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 or whatever. And then she goes downstairs and it's Art there, and it's just like, oh, this is a dream or whatever. And then she gets hit with a hammer and knocked out or whatever and wakes up. It's like, oh, this isn't a fucking dream? What the fuck is going on? Because it was just it just turned out of nowhere.
I guess the implication there, because we know that mimicking voices is a thing, they were just doing that to mess with her or something like that, or like lure her over there. But yeah, it was definitely a twist on my thinking at the time where I was just like, okay, she's having a dream. She's going to see that it is, in fact, Art, and she needs to get ready or something. But they're just like, no, it's already happened, and they've invaded the house, and it's happening. I was like, oh, okay, I guess.
When you want to talk about cut corners, so, okay, everything up to now, Art is at the dorm. Jonathan is supposed to be picked up by Greg or whatever. Greg is waiting outside. We know something's going to happen. Art kills random douchebags that are there to just die, that are having sex or whatever. And then it cuts to he's in the house. Like, you missed a whole lot of shit here. You missed what happened with Jonathan and Greg. You missed you missed a lot of build up to this moment or whatever that I think you could have put in.
The only way I'm okay with most of that is if there is a trick going on with what happened to Jonathan and the fate of Jonathan or something like that. Because I still feel it's super weird to just kind of kill one of the main reasons Sienna fought so hard in the second movie as just kind of a twist on a scene with a skull with no real evidence other than like, we stole his glasses. You know, like that's all we really know happened, right? Like the head in the cage is too messed up to identify anything. Yeah. And they just put a pair of glasses on it. So I don't know. I'm not convinced Jonathan's actually dead. That seems underwhelming and weird. Yeah. So I'm like, I will not be mad at all if they say like, no, he's actually alive and they were messing. And it's like, oh, good. Like, I'm glad. Or if they feel like, no, we meant for that to be real and we're going to start the next movie with like how that happened or something like that, like just cement it in place. I need to see it happen to know it happened. You know?
That character, as much as I didn't like him in Terrifier 2, was too important to Terrifier 2 for him to be killed off screen.
Just kind of shrugged off in 3, especially like if you have this like, oh, he's kind of the lore master, he researched all this stuff or whatever, like that just seems weird. So
lazy. It seems lazy.
That's my notion, is he's like a backup plan vessel or something like that. That would be my like lore based rationale as to why you would do that. But I guess
how would you feel? Terrifier 4 starts up and she wakes up and she's like, it was all a dream and none of that night happened.
3 didn't even happen. She was just in the asylum the whole time. No, I don't think that's a good idea. It's like,
that's terrible. That's fair.
It's just like, what? 5 years? No, that was like 2 months ago, dude. You're like so traumatized that you thought 5 years happened. That literally just happened. Chris Jericho's right here. Like, you know, like it just. I don't think this movie was so bad you should undo it. Like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just There were a couple like puzzling moments that felt incomplete, or like hopefully this is for a reason, I guess, is the kind of way I'm putting it together. I'm just like, I hope the storytelling is solid enough that you were deliberately misleading me with some of this stuff and it's not just a mistake. So yeah,
I agree. I guess my other question is, how did you feel about this being a quote unquote Christmas movie?
I mean, it's got Christmas trees. I thought we did kind of like a hypothetical, what kind of Christmas business are we going to get up to in this movie?
The answer is not a lot.
Yeah, maybe because too many horror things have happened in the Christmas space, but like I was expecting some icicles stabbing people or something.
Sure.
Stockings, fireplaces, things around about Christmas. We did get a gross Christmas tree. I didn't anticipate blood angels, and I basically applauded that when it happened. I was like, yeah, it's some good dumb shit. Good job, everybody.
Did we not guess a Christmas tree where they use like intestines or something as tinsel? That feels like something we would have got.
I feel like we guessed something with the Christmas tree and the topper on the Christmas tree. That seems like something we would have put together, right?
And it would be a head, right? Like,
right.
I'm just gonna say we did
it. I can't remember if this was like right after the episode we had this conversation, or it's in the episode. Like we should have given it a little listen or whatever. But oh well, if we're covering it again, sorry. But or candy canes, I was thinking sharp candy canes. I just don't think we got like. Like, oh, it's a gingerbread house, and you take the roof off, and there's a head, or something. Like, there's all sorts of dumb shit.
We were so close. We were so close when we were talking about the prediction that somebody gets a tube nailed down into their throat, and then boiling hot cocoa was poured in.
Right.
We were close. Who would have
thought rats?
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
I think they did the kind of like Arch doing the homey dinner thing in the second one, didn't they? Didn't they have like him doing homemaking stuff in kind of a mocking way with like a gross dinner table?
Yes. Thing? All the mashed potatoes. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, well, they can't really do like the dinner gag again because they kind of did it in the second one. So for
that's true.
Halloween dinner. I don't know. Canadian Thanksgiving. That's my justification because that's in October.
Yep.
But
that's a thing for sure.
Yeah, or turkey stuff or anything like that. They didn't really do that. They did the Christmas tree. They did Santa Claus stuff. I guess the Santa chair thing with like the gifts and the explosion and everything, that was pretty wild. So that happened.
A literal terrorist attack at a mall. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up. How do you feel about Christmas horror movies? Because I'm actually not a fan of them in general.
Well, I liked Violent Night, but that's not really a horror movie. It's like
just I watched
kind
that
of
today
a violent
again.
Action movie. Yeah,
I
kind of like that movie's tone.
Yeah,
but it's kind of it's like Christmas Die Hard or whatever, which is Christmas. I mean, it's like Supernatural Die Hard, where he has a magic sack full of
John McClane is Santa instead, basically. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
No, I like that too.
I enjoyed that, but that's kind of just a gnarly action movie or whatever, a B action movie or something.
I like Die Hard too. I don't like horror at Christmas because I watch horror all year, and it's kind of nice to be like cleansed of that shit at Christmas time.
I like a Batman Returns with its kind of weird gothic business and weird production design and penguins and stuff. But that's like a kid's book horror or something like that. It's not trying to be too crazy.
I don't like seeing people get rats forced down their fucking gullet and then their necks. Like, there's something about, I will watch horror movies that take place at Christmas any time of the year and be fine. Watching it at Christmas, there's something about it that feels extra gross. I really didn't like watching this movie this week, honestly.
Oh, I guess I was fine. I'm not like a Christmassy as I used to be or whatever, so it fits the moodiness or something. I wasn't that thrown by it. But I don't like that Black Christmas movie from like 2006. I just find that movie gross.
Wasn't it 2009?
I don't think so. Or at least when it was filmed. I don't know. I think it's 2006.
There's too many Black Christmases because there was one in like 2016 as well, wasn't there?
Yeah. The one with like Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Lorraine Newman might be in it. That movie's just, I don't know, poor taste or something. I do not like that movie. I'm still curious about the original. I've never actually watched it. I guess I missed my window this year, but
Oh,
or like I
2019.
I already I already bought a Batman Returns, but
Mm-hmm.
like or like the Long Halloween has like a big chapter about Christmas, and it's like mayhem and violence on Christmas is kind of amusing because it's like it's like the darkest time of the year. It's like a sad, weird time. So I don't mind something leaning into that. Gremlins or something, Like we're like, oh, there's little monsters on Christmas causing problems. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, sure, that's fine. But like a serial killer Santa, I guess the thing this whole movie thing has kind of clued me into is like, oh, there's apparently a great Tales from the Crypt episode called
Mm.
like All Through the House that's supposed to be really good. And like Damien Leone likes it. It's part of the inspiration for this. I think the first scene is sort of like riffing on that a little bit. It's kind of a truncated version of some of that business. So a murder Santa Claus happened in that show apparently, and I should probably take a look at that. But
Tales from the Crypt is
yeah,
pretty great. Yeah.
yeah, like it's kind of in that campy funhouse horror zone. I think if you do Christmas with that, that's probably fine.
Mm.
But yeah, there was kind of this tradition to counter program Christmas at the theaters for a while, where it's just like, oh yeah, come down on Christmas Day and watch Wolf Creek or something. Like just have a real dark time because you're so edgy or something like at the movie theater.
Yeah.
I think Alien versus Predator Requiem came out on Christmas, so I did go
Oh,
see
good.
that. Yeah. Uh, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, I guess I'm more kind of that like Tim Burton Christmas, like the kind of gothy Christmas.
Sure.
Like we have a plastic vampire skeleton we bought for Halloween, and we just put Christmas stuff on him. Like that kind of
Yeah.
balance of just like it's all creepy, but he's got garland and ornaments on and a big goofy hat. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
the parody of Christmas I enjoy. So
I
yeah.
don't think the thing I'm talking about is creepy or gothy like stuff at holidays. I think it's literally watching families just fucking get eviscerated in front of each other is just in poor taste or something that I don't like.
Oh yeah.
It's just kind of there because again, it's not that I'm against it. It's just that I see that shit all fucking year. It's kind of nice on Christmas to just have like Violent Night as like my silly, stupid, like edgy, I guess, Christmas thing or whatever. Some Charlie Brown Christmas or whatever. Just like a week of just like cleansing my brain.
Business. Or we were talking about like Muppet Christmas and stuff like that. That's definitely more the vibe you look for. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's again because Terrifier is just desensitizing us as we go along. I was like up for some art japes or whatever.
Sure.
So I was okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't find it too distressing or whatever. It's starting to enter into that campy, like I think they allude
Definitely
to like
campy.
John Carpenter stuff. It's got that kind of B horror thing.
Totally.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. No, I agree.
There you go.
This All Through the House was directed by Robert Zemeckis. Just as a
oh great.
Yeah,
he's kind of one of the like producers and co-creators of that whole show. So okay, that's notable.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Zemeckis. Check that guy
in theaters
out.
now.
Pretty fun. Not really.
Yeah,
but sometimes he has a movie in theaters, and sometimes it's okay.
We're both looking forward to Terrifier 4, obviously.
I have some hopes for it. Yeah, I kind of like. I'll even go for some bad, like weird, surreal dreamscape stuff. I watched that movie Imaginary, and I was like, "This is okay. This is pretty good.
Sure,
this isn't
I didn't
good,
watch
but
it.
This is my kind of good."
Yeah,
Okay. What I wanted was a big, weird-looking teddy bear monster, and at one point they did that. They're just like, "Yeah, we just got a crazy monster Muppet right here," and I was like, "Yeah." All right.
That's pretty great. Getting on that Five Nights at Freddy's train, just kind of wheeling your way up that ramp.
A little bit, yeah. I'm up for that sequel too. Like that.
That's out
my
now
kind of
on VOD.
Stuff. I know. Yeah, I was trying to pitch people on it, but whatever. So yeah. Yeah, some campy, dumb stuff. That's what I'm up to. And this has a chance. This next one has a chance to really get into a realm I think they'd be suited for. I like that Clown Cafe Dream stuff, so I'm hoping for some of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think their stronger stuff was that stuff that you're talking about. I would like to see this become kind of almost like the new Nightmare on Elm Street, where they just do weird demon world like crazy crap with these characters.
Oh, that was something I was wondering about, because I was like, art could kind of just be thrown into any situation. Like at some point, do we want this to just run the gamut of like tropery stuff where you're just like, all right, so Sienna is a counselor at a camp, and oh, look who it is, you know? Like,
that would be awful.
Crap like that, like Fear Street, you know?
No, that would be awful, because I love Sienna. I think she's great, and I would love that character to actually have a full movie where she is the like angel warrior or whatever.
I just feel they could totally do it though. Or there's like this next movie, she like goes into the hell realm and is like, all right, I did it. I killed the demon. All right. We did our dream warriors. We did it. We killed it. And now what I'm going to do, you know what? I'm going to become a camp director. And then it just, why did it happen? Or like, you know, I'm going to take that job up on the space station. Oh my God, it's Jason X. You know, like they could do anything they want. Like, will art go to space? You know, that would
be so good.
That's you're like,
you know, a series has reached its peak when they go to space. Because Jason X, I don't care what any of you motherfuckers say, Jason X is one of the best Friday the 13th movies out there. Easily.
It has something for sure. The first time I watched it, I was like, this is bad. But when I watched it again, years later, I was like, wow, Jason just killed a spaceship with 17 million people on it. Like, that's crazy kill count right there. And then they somehow land on like Earth B, where there's like Camp Crystal Lake 2.
Yeah.
I was like, you idiots, you should have followed this up with like Jason X2. And it's just on a planet. The first movie happens again. They had every opportunity to really turn that into something.
Yeah.
Oh well, you know. That character's just suspended in nothing right now. It's weird. Like that 2009 movie made a bunch of money. The video game had it going on, and then like legal stuff screwed it up.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on. Like that's just so, you know, maybe that's it. Like Jason had his time. We just need art to get way into hockey, and you got a new way to do it. Like totally the same thing.
Oh, do you think they would ever do a Jason versus art, or like Jason versus Freddy versus art sort of thing?
Oh man,
that'd be so good.
I'd rather someone come up with something like a contemporary that's worthy. You know,
nobody's gonna do that. People are too afraid.
Yeah, or like stuff faltered, right? Like you're just like, at some point, what are we gonna do? Megan versus art, and it's like, no, Megan didn't put it together.
Well,
you know,
I mean, there was talk back then. Yeah, there was talk back then of Freddy versus like Chucky and just stupid shit like that, which is essentially art versus Megan at this point.
Or it's like, man, why do we keep having birthday parties at this Freddy's place? We should just have a clown come over, you know? And then it's like, hey, that's our turf. And then you got these robots fighting this clown. They could make it real bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be good.
I think we know it's fully just roasted earth done when it's like, are the clowns coming to Fortnite? And you're just like, all right, it's over. Just, that's it. It's shut it down.
I'm a little surprised he hasn't yet, to be honest with you. He's kind of a big like horror icon.
He's a pretty big deal. I hope he manages to retain his like alternative undergroundness just a little bit, you know, just a little bit. I know he's at Spencer's Gifts, but that's already kind of like the budget Hot Topic. So I want him in the budget Hot Topic. I don't want him in Hot Topic, you know. That's when you know.
I typed in horror icons, and the first image that came up on Google Images was like a grid, and he's on the top row.
Okay.
But he's weirdly right beside Candyman, Tony Todd, so I don't know how good this list is, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I did like that new Candyman movie, and they did briefly have Tony Todd appear in it. Spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, do I want art tangling with something else? Like, I don't know. At some point, it has to be like some entity thing that's at the same level, and I don't know if anything is right now.
Alien versus art.
Again, whatever gets him to outer space, that's
yep.
if you got to put him in on the Nostromo or whatever we're doing.
The xenomorphs and the humans are together against art.
Yeah, what else is going on in horror? Like, I guess that was the thing, because like when I saw X, I guess is what it was. Like I was like, that made me cringe pretty much as much, and that was an R-rated movie. Like that was allowed,
Sure.
So, like at some point, I feel this is like starting to enter into like you could just have this not like this isn't actually have as much lurid appeal as it used to. Oh, you can't even rate this. It's like I think
this
Canada's
one especially
could account for it. Yeah,
this one especially is super easy. Yeah,
octagonal R on the box.
Yep.
Like
all my VHS tapes used to have.
Yeah, you got the big orange panther says this is restricted. Don't little kids can't watch this. But I think this is entering into like I think it was that second movie. At some point, it was like, oh, I understand why there's merch now. This is not like as totally messed up as the early stuff. This is starting to just be more Spirit Halloween,
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Anyway, we should leave it there. We're kind of just pondering the same thing. So we'll see what art gets up to in the huge $100+ million earner that's sure to come. Just the budget, like the returns seem to be exponential so far. So we'll see what we get to this next time.
Yeah. There's surely a drop off somewhere. There's not going to be this. I don't think this is like worldwide huge audience appeal. So there's going to be a drop off somewhere. Sure.
Well, yeah, the train will have to end at some point, and it might be the Fortnite thing. It might be
space.
When he fights. It might be space. It might be Robot Chucky, voiced by Mark Hamill. I still think that movie got underappreciated, so we'll bring it back with art.
That Chucky just looked bad, though. That's the only issue with it, really.
Yeah, it's a bad I still want him to network with like 100 robots and have 100 robots fight like a bunch of demons or something.
I Chucky, basically.
Yeah,
That'd
exactly.
Be so good.
So that we'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds.
Yeah.
But until then, this was Nathan and Paul surviving in the darkness. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Night living.
Surviving in dark, living in the night.
Living in the night, Christmas edition. So, Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas.
Stay scary. Stay scared? That makes more sense.
Stay scared.